Hello, welcome everybody to our next episode of Walang Plastikan. Thank you so much for tuning in today and greeting you. Happy Earth Day. Yesterday we had Earth Day where we celebrated our Earth, our planet that is sustaining us. And we reminded ourselves that it's also our calling, our responsibility to be good stewards of the earth that God has given to us, created to live and to use. And we'll talk about it more here on Walang Plastikan today, as we have a very special guest, a good friend and colleague from Plastic Bank, the current country manager, Rene Guarin, and he has an incredible track record of all the things he has done. He has been the business advisor and chief of party of Agritera, where he was working in for livestock and feed mill production. He was working as a enterprise advisor for Oxfam. He was the president of the Center of Community Trade and Innovation, where he was working with cooperatives and many more. So thank you, Rene, for joining us this evening to share about your life and what you are doing at Plastic Bank. Hello, Rene, and I have a few questions for you today.
Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, Peter. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Peter, for inviting me here. Yeah.
Good. The first question I would like to ask you, Rene, is how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm a person who loves travel. Travel, food, places. That's what I like to do. I'm an optimist. I always see the brighter side of things, no matter how grim the situation is. And I think determined. No matter what the situation, I push through. I trudge on. I think those are
Well,
true. Yeah.
I think those are very good. Would you say attributes to get you where you are right now,
Yeah.
and also to probably cope with the current situation as you are in COVID? I think optimism is something that really helps
Yeah.
you to carry you through. And if you look back at your life, Rene, what would be some of the important milestones that you would like to share with us and that were very formative and that impacted you in your journey?
Okay. I think I would begin with my first job. I became a volunteer. I was a volunteer, social development workers formation program, and I was assigned in Mindanao. I spent like 4 years, and I think I find this as a milestone because it was my introduction to community development. It's where I got myself grounded, got to see the value of giving back, the value of doing work for community. And from there, the second I would say would be when I came back to Manila and headed another organization on marketing. So we were doing business for a community, and we were the ones trading products from cooperatives, from IP groups. And from that experience, I saw that if I wanted to really make an impact and sustain these initiatives, I saw the value of having an interface between what you do in community development and putting in an enterprise or business aspect to it. And I think the third one would be is when I got married. I think that provided me some grounding, the need to look for roots, and yeah, the need to do a balance between life and work. I think those are the milestones that you would say that somehow guided me to as far as right now.
Yeah, thank you, Rene. Those are very powerful milestones already. Your first job put you in a trajectory that probably kept you going until where you are now, and of course, finding a good partner in life
Yeah.
is a very, very important milestone. And I can say that also being married for 27 years right now. Now we are both in Plastic Bank as in this company. I've been there already for quite a bit. You have just joined. What attracted you actually to come to apply to work with a company like Plastic Bank? Is it what you said already, just with your milestone that poverty alleviation and business at that kind of interface? Was that one, or was there more about it?
I think it's around those areas because I would say that if I would say a person would be lucky if he gets to have a work or a job that reflects also it's aligned with the beliefs, also allows him to put faith into practice. And for me, Plastic Bank is something similar to that. It aligns with my views. There's this level of fairness. There's this level of looking after the community, and also contributing to the bigger impact on the environment. At the same time, it's related to the business side. So these are the things that I see that I think are aligned with what I do. And then the giving back is, I think, I've always been seeing that as very part of my purpose. To live life not just to gain something for myself, but really to be of service to others. And I think Plastic Bank provided that opportunity. And I said, when I heard the call and I found out more about Plastic Bank, I said, yeah, this is the kind of organization I'd like to be with. I'd like to grow old with. I'd like to, yeah, to be in a long time. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Actually, that resonates very much with what also brought me to Plastic Bank and kept me in Plastic Bank for all the time. Now, we have now this important milestone that Plastic Bank celebrated, that they collected 1 billion
True.
bottles,
Yeah.
and that's a very important one. And both of us have one thing in common. We are both. We started our roots in Plastic Bank here in the Philippines. I was the first country manager in early 2017 when we were a very small organization. We had no money, we had no customers. We just started. It was just I was an army of one for 1.5 years, and now we have this wonderful big team in the Philippines that you are leading, and we have this big footprint actually that where Philippines is one of the strong countries of Plastic Bank contributing to these milestones. How did Plastic Bank collect 1 billion bottle? What is the power of Plastic Bank that is pushing them to grow and to move? Would you like to share with us?
Yeah, I think on two levels. One is in terms of the vision. It's if you have something that is relatable, something that is relevant, and you provide a space for people to participate, I think you are headed for a big impact. In the case of Plastic Bank, I think the vision to stop ocean-bound plastic, and in the course of doing that, you want to improve lives, and you also want to bring back in terms of into the economy that plastic. I think that's something that resonates to a lot of people, to our partners. And as you mentioned, you started with a one-man army, but I think with that kind of vision, it became something relatable to a lot of people, to our partners from down to the community, to our partners, to our branches, even to the big companies. They see it's something relevant, it's something important, it's something that they can do. And if you have that behind you, I think that's a very powerful force. And that's what Plastic Pack did when it comes to having that vision. And then providing the space for them to participate. I think this whole 1 billion is really a global effort. We are operating in 5 countries. We're in Brazil, in Indonesia, we're in Haiti, we're in Egypt, and in the Philippines. And for each country, we have different programs, we have different partners that all contribute in getting all this plastic waste, this plastic bottles, and ultimately they contribute to this big volume. And I think that's the combination of these two. Something relatable, people buy in, and you provide them a space to become part of that. It really becomes more of a movement in itself. And I think that's one of the key reasons. Well, of course, we have management itself, leadership within Plastic Pack to provide that vision, the charisma of leadership to also invite other people. I think that cements a lot of support. And then you have our capable country offices that works with existing systems, that improves the system in terms of waste collection. I think that's how we do things. It allows us to look into how do we improve the way plastic is collected in the area. So having that system in place, working with that system, I think the combination of this plus, yeah, I think it's a global effort.
Yeah. Thank you, Rene. I think, yeah, it has grown into so many different aspects and engaging so many different people, and it's really some always evolving with new ideas. I think that is what I can see. If I think what also Philippine office is spearheading. Where in the Philippines is Plastic Bank working? I think our viewers here are mostly from the Philippines, so they would like to know where is the closest Plastic Bank branch next next to me. So in what geographical areas in the Philippines are we?
Yeah, we have majority of our branches. We have now around 66 branches. These are the junk shop, the recycling areas, and they are located in Metro Manila, in Quezon City. We have in Valenzuela, and then we're slowly moving to north, maybe in the areas of Bulacan and maybe even to Pampanga. In south, I think we're already present in Laguna. We also have a big program in Cavite and General Trias, and then also in Bicol. We are present in Camarines Norte. Oh no, in Camarines Sur. That's in Naga. So that's where we operate in the Philippines.
Wow, wow, that has spread a lot. When I was there, we were only in Baseco in Manila, and now we are in so many places, and further expanding into Luzon and probably maybe Visayas and Mindanao also. If probably people would like to know how exactly is Plastic Bank working. So if let's say there is a person bringing a bottle to a Plastic Bank branch, and what's happening next? What makes it special that this is somehow circular, or what way does it work?
Yeah. So yeah, good thing you brought up. It's about the circular economy. So a person, let maybe we start with the household. They throw their waste, and then our pickers or our first pickers, they would find this in the dump site. So with these pickers, what we do is we orient them. Is there a better way of collecting the waste instead of just lumping them together with all the different kind of plastic? We try to orient them. Okay, these are the kind of plastics, and this will be the way to sort them and clean them. And not only do we work with the member pickers, we also work with the junk shops that they deliver the plastic to. So again, the junk shops, we also orient them on the proper segregation, on the proper sorting, on the proper cleaning. The whole idea is to introduce a way of getting this plastic so that it becomes clean, it becomes within the standards that is needed, ultimately by those who will be using this plastic as a recycled item. So from the junk shop, they will bring now this to the processors. And from the processors, they would convert this plastic into pellets or flakes. Right now, we're working with two kinds of plastic. The PET, these are mostly the bottles, the water bottles, the water containers. And we're also working with the PP or HDPE. Basically, these are the containers for the chemicals. So we get them, bring them to the recycling center. And then that's where it becomes part of the bigger supply chain. We have companies that buy this. They would prefer this recycled plastic than what we call the virgin plastic. And in a way, if we stop the production of virgin plastic and they keep on using the recycled plastic, then somehow we contribute in terms of not increasing the amount of new plastic. And normally, the good thing about it is that if the plastic is not collected this way, most probably they will go to the dump site, and then they will find themselves in waters of bodies of water, and they will flow to the ocean. And I think that the whole idea of a plastic bag is to stop that from happening by improving the system of collection.
All right. Wow. Yeah, I think that is a very good uh, idea, because the problem is that right now only 10% or less than 10% of all the plastic is recycled, and there's more recycled content than we can. We have really a good business case, and but somehow this informal system was already working. Before Plastic Bank came, but Plastic Bank has put additional value into the system where people can get special benefits
Exactly. Yeah.
or certain incentives.
Yep.
What are those incentives and benefits that people can get if they participate in the Plastic Bank program?
Yeah. Good thing you brought it up, because with Plastic Bank, because we're introducing them on the better way of collecting the plastic and ultimately selling this as what we call social plastic, we provide additional incentives, or what we call premiums, to the collectors. We provide them we call them tokens. We provide them 7 tokens in terms of peso value, that's around 350. So automatically this increases the income they get from the collection. And because these are, yeah, so that's the incentive that, yeah, that they get. And I think what makes the plastic bank model special is that with all the number of people that are involved, I think behind our system is what we call alchemy. We have a platform powered by a blockchain, and it allows us to get a lot of information. So it allows us to record the transactions from the collectors. It gives us the ability to profile them. It gives us the ability to trace where they bring this plastic and to the processor, and from the processor to those who will be using the plastic by these big companies. And we can say to these big companies, well, if you want a circular economy, if you want traceability, if you want to see where the plastic came from, our system will allow you to see this information, to do this information on real time.
Yeah, yeah. I remember the first version of the app when we were testing it in Baseco in 2017, and now it's really such a very powerful tool and how it has evolved. And I think to have this traceability makes Plastic Bank very special and can make it also easier to expand. I think that Plastic Bank was able to expand in so many countries in a short time is also through the digital tools that they are using. Now in the Philippines, there are quite still a lot of areas to go into, but for the rest of 2021, of course, I think COVID has making expansion more difficult than it would be normally be. But what areas are you planning to go into? Where do you think people can expect some Plastic Bank branches opening up within this year?
Yes. We're targeting maybe to add another 15 to 20 branches. We might be operating in other key cities in Manila, like we're looking at Pasig City. We're also looking at other municipalities where we can partner with the solid waste management group of a city. So I think aside from Southern Luzon, we're looking at the areas in Northern Luzon to expand our areas of operation.
Wow, that is good. I think it makes a lot of sense to also partner with the city governments, and I think that this is what they call public-private partnerships. Now we have a question here that is asking: do Philippine households have incentives for surrendering their consumed plastic as well? So it's probably not only the collector, but also the private households.
We have that model with what we call the citywide. It's a model that works with barangay recycling centers, and particularly in Bicol. I think the way it's designed is that in the barangay, they will work with the local households, and then for the households to turn in those plastic, it becomes like a community effort, and the market value of that would be managed and handled by that area, where the households are involved. And the way it works is that, yeah, we would be training the households also how to segregate and sort the plastic. And I think it will be up to them how they would be using the income. I think it would be a collective or a cooperative in part. Right now,
Yeah.
that's the only model that we have where the households could really benefit also from the market value of the plastic.
Yeah, wow, that's a very interesting way of implementing Republic Act 9003. If you think that it has been dragging along a bit, but in some way, if you have a way to motivate people to do something, and having the assumption that people want to do something good, want to change something, if you just give them an opportunity, if you help them to organize themselves, and then they can do it and they will do it. I think that is a very powerful model that if you can scale it up, can probably make a very big impact. Are there other ways people
Yeah,
can? Yeah,
actually,
sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, Ray.
yeah. I think adding on the other ways people could participate is that we, aside from the household, we also work with the community churches and schools. Like for example, a congregation would like to collect plastic from their area, contribute this. We also work with certain dioceses, also look in that particular model. So in a church or maybe in a congregation, they can set up like a collection point. Volunteers will tend this. They will get plastic donations from the members, and then we will link this to the junk shops. They will get this, and I think again the plastic, the prices or the value of the plastic they bring, could be used by the church for the programs that they might have. The same way with schools. We're also working with schools that have programs on the environment. So it would be a school effort if they would like to have like the school children also, oh, not the school children, but the families involved in that school. They could also participate in terms of bringing the plastic, and then we can bring that to the junk shops that we also work with.
Yeah, wow, that's very good. If you think about just yesterday was Earth Day, and now the Laudato Si anniversary is coming up, and we can see that many churches have started actually with environmental efforts, with also with we have a partnership with the World Evangelical Alliance as well. Then I think with schools, the importance is really to have the next generation that can bring up a new paradigm of dealing with plastic. I think it's easier to mold young people. Now here's another question that says, hi Rene, which country has been very successful in the collection of plastic by which Philippines can look at and follow?
Yeah, I think I would have to answer that actually it's the Philippines that is now leading in terms of the collection of plastic among the countries where Plastic Bank operates. So basically, we have the models in terms of how to have that plastic collected either in partnership with the city government or in partnership with the private sector.
Yeah, that's true. Philippines, as far as Plastic Bank is concerned, Philippines has really now been the front runner, and there are also, of course, places like Ghana has been very strong. There's places like Rwanda that has been had a total plastic ban, actually, of plastic bags being banned. When people go to the airport, they look into your suitcase, not that you smuggle alcohol or cigarettes. They're looking if you are smuggling in plastic bags, and they confiscate them. So they've been very strict. So thank you, Rene, for these wonderful insights that we learned. When people want to contact Plastic Bank, what would be the best way for them to get in touch with us?
I think we have a website that is out there. It's www.plasticbank.com. And by checking the website, they would be able to find our contact persons for the Philippines as well.
Yeah. And I think we also have a Facebook site where they can send
Yes,
us
we have a
messages.
Facebook site as well. Yes.
Plastic Bank Philippines, and then you can just send a message. Okay, Rene, I really thank you. It was really chatting with you. We've been colleagues for a long time, but this was the real first time for us to connect on here. So I really enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter, for inviting me. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and also to our viewers. We are now coming to the end of the show. They have no more questions. Our friends from Africa, we have somebody from Africa, Brinstan Mabachi from Nigeria says, salute you all. Wow. So not only the Philippines, we have international audience. So thank you, Dr. Brent, for tuning in from Africa and listening to us. And hopefully we can expand also more into Africa as well. Please be with us next week as Dan Diaz is with his show Getting It Done for also environmental and sustainability as here on Sustainable PH. And in 2 weeks, so tune in again sa Usapan Walang Plastikan, and our topic will be ang Diyos at ang plastic. So that should be interesting. What ano kaugnayan ng Diyos at ang plastic? So please be with us again in 2 weeks when we have again our Usapan Walang Plastikan. Now have a nice evening and a great weekend, mga kapatid, kapamilya, kapuso, and whatsoever. God bless you. Pagpalain kayo ng Diyos, and stay safe and stay healthy, and see you next time. Okay. We wish you all the best. Bye-bye. Thank you again, Rene, for being with us and keeping in touch.
I'm going to play Amazing Grace.